Welcome to the Viking Horn, official podcast of the Nottingham Vikings Ball Hockey Club. You can find out more about our club on our website and on all social media. For YouTube channel viewers, you'll see the links on screen. Anyway, let's sound the Viking Horn. Hello and Happy New Year to Ball Hockey World from the Nottingham Vikings. And obviously we didn't get through for Christmas, so I hope you all had a good Christmas. That's the end of the Christmas talk for that one, Dan. Just say Dan did make a rule before the podcast started that we aren't going to mention too much about Christmas in this podcast. It's been and gone, all done. So we've got Mike, Dan and Benny with us today. Welcome, guys. So anyone receive any Vikings merchandise over Christmas? Oops, that word again. But yeah, did anyone get anything?
No.
Yeah, I definitely did. Sorry, Mike, I didn't just cut you off there.
I just said no, I didn't.
Oh, probably because you were making it all.
Did you make yourself anything nice?
No.
No, I very much appreciated the mug that Pete got me, sponsored by Mike, and I genuinely, it's one of my favourite gifts, and it wasn't even for me. It was for Edward, his very own Vikings hockey jersey, which is pretty cool. That's he hasn't had it on yet, but you know, when it all kicks off, I'll bring him down the gym next time we're in the gym, innit? But yeah, he looks pretty cool, and
Sounds good.
Cool, that's all.
Yeah, brilliant. It was. We just thought about it, didn't we, Benny? And spoke with Lizzie, my wife, and we just thought, you know what, let's go for it. We need someone to share the colours around the country or what. So we just thought, you know what, let's get little Edward a jersey, and I'm sure it'll look pretty cool in it when he does. It'll be a hat next, so you can. Yeah. Yeah. Someone else who did receive a jersey over Christmas was my brother-in-law, Sam Ward. Those on YouTube will be able to see a picture of him on it in the jersey very shortly. But he sent us a little message as well. He quoted how happy he was to receive the jersey. He says he feels like he's become the Viking he was born to be. So what an amazing quote that is to go with the. He's already ordered the away jersey as well, so that'll be on his way very shortly. So Vikings jerseys are on the popularity growth around the country and hopefully around the world. So
yeah, is he going to be our third netminder?
Well, you know what? Looking at him, looking at the picture, I think forget netminder. I think he could be our mascot. If I'm honest, can you imagine him with that walking out in front of us, and just following him, and
actual Viking, that guy.
Yeah, exactly. So he's there, and we can just all follow him out onto the court, and he just does some sort of Viking chant on his way out, and we're all following him. How cool would that be? Yeah. He does make that noise quite often as well.
Oh, I just wonder if he is going to be a netminder, he's still not getting man of the match.
Yeah. Oh, obviously not. So I think that alone might lead him to deciding to be the mascot. But I know he is keen to come and give the game a try at some point as well. And now he's got his jersey to come and wear, and he hopefully I want to bring him down to some of the games as well when we get playing. So hello to you, Sam. Hope you enjoy the jersey, and I'm sure the away jersey will be with you very, very soon. Anyways, on to important matters. Before we got to Christmas, we spoke about Benny's new fitness regime. So just want to bring up with Dan and Benny. How's it going?
Over to you, Benny.
Over to me. We've done a session today, haven't we?
We have.
We've since come up with a new slogan, which is Sunday is the day of reps,
not the day of rest.
All right. What does that include today?
A lot of reps.
Reps
of what today? Was it burpees or?
There was a shoulders day, wasn't it?
Shoulders today,
and it was pretty much lots of different shoulder exercises, all the way through to failure.
Yeah, did a big old drop set to finish off with, to promote a bit of muscle growth on Benny's little tiny childlike shoulders. But They will grow. They will grow. It's, but I'd say, I know we've, like, when we just jumped on the call straight away, you lads did say, to Benny, he's looking better. I think he is, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's not all about, I know Benny's like lost, he jumped on the scales last week. He didn't get a very, like, an initial sort of weight to start off with. We just started training because I think weight isn't the be all and end all. Your relationship to the floor isn't, the best thing to go on. But, he's definitely looking a bit, I don't want to blow smoke up your ass. He's sat next to me, but you are looking a bit better.
Thank you.
You're still ugly, but...
Well, you can only fix the body looks.
I mean, I didn't see it personally when I seen Benny the other day, like a couple of weeks ago, or whatever.
He's lost weight then. That's what I mean. But now, when he came on the screen, I was thinking, oh yeah, actually he has. You can't tell he has lost a bit of weight in the face. So it's working. And did it possibly all this training pre-Christmas came to fruition on perhaps a surprise fitness test the other night? I don't want to go into it too much. I'm going to let you guys go for it. But Benny became a bit of a vigilante the other night. Yeah, that's right.
It all started with Hugh Jackman, didn't it, really?
It was Hugh Jackman. It was the inspiration. Basically, me and Benny were having a little cuddle on the couch watching Greatest Showman. Livy was in the middle, but, fair wheeling.
This is the great thing about personal trainers is, like, Dan goes to the next level.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't just scream at you in the gym. He'll make sure that you get a bit of a cuddle on the sofa at night, just in case you're feeling a bit down.
Give and take.
It is.
So, we were sat there watching The Greatest Showman. Absolute quality, by the way. If anyone knocks that film,
we're after you.
No, even I've watched that film. I don't watch many films, and it was enjoyable.
Banger. It's a banger.
Yeah, it was good.
And, me and Benny sang our way through the hour and a half it was on. Quality.
We wanted to go for a run after, didn't we?
Yeah. From now on, that came on, and I was like, I'm pumped now. I'm pumped. Anyway, got in bed around 11 o'clock. This wasn't with Benny at this point. Got in bed.
There is a line.
Yeah.
Thanks for clarifying.
And that it wasn't that night time that it was due.
No.
Sure, you hadn't had a row.
Yeah. It wasn't Benny's night. So, went to bed around 11 o'clock. Jumped in bed. I'm in the front room. Only literally laying there 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm just laying there, and I hear this quite formidable click out the front window, and I was thinking. I said to Livy, I went, "Was that the van door?" And she went, "I thought it was, but I didn't want to say anything." So I flew out of bed, grabbed me Generate hoodie, always representing. Flew downstairs in my underpants, shouting Benny that I think someone's trying to nick the van. Clark Kent pops out. he hasn't even got in bed yet or got undressed yet. It was that soon after the credits were rolling at The Greatest Showman. Bombed it downstairs. I've popped the light on, opened the door. As I've opened the door, we've seen some little scruff's legs hanging out the van. And what will probably shock everyone would be this lad bloody swooped past me. So I've just been left. I've been left for dead. I've been left on the blocks. He's jumped past me. I'm just there shouting obscenities at this point, which can't be really said on the screen. And he's threw this little scruff up the side of the van who's tried to run off. I've then come out. Good old. The one thing you can always rely on is me being night blind and having a couple of minutes to try and get my eyes out.
Just the man you want in a situation with a in the dark.
Exactly. I'm a bit of a windmill in the dark, I'll be honest. So he's threw this lad up the side of the van, giving him a good old rattling. And I've come out. First of all, I've gone, oh shit, no, wrong one. I've grabbed the wrong person. moved on to this other lad. There he is. Bang! Just give him a good old whack. carried on giving him the obscenities, and yeah, and then police turned up and jobs are good. But yeah,
the best bit was when we let him go, and then he started giving it the big uns.
Oh yeah, well the hard man turned up then, didn't he?
I think. Then we go after him again.
Yeah, that's it. He goes running down the street in his bare feet after this lad.
Two things come to mind here. You talk about surprise at the fact that Benny ran past you, Dan, to catch up with this fellow who's this hoodlum. Yeah, let's call him a hoodlum. So that might be surprising in itself, but at the same time, it shows I think maybe being around yourself has made him growing a bit of confidence as well. I wouldn't know Benny to be someone like that, but fair play, well done, Benny. But I think the most surprising thing to a lot of the guys and girls within the Viking setup would be on running after him. I think the most surprising thing is the Achilles didn't go, or the guy didn't turn around and poke him in the eye and injure that orbital area again. Benny.
Have I hurt my Achilles recently?
Maybe I'm being being unkind. It might have been a different injury. You've had two pretty bad injuries recently. You don't like to talk about too much.
It's last year.
I'll tell you what.
It was last year, Pete.
If he doesn't stop bringing that up, he'll
I've seen the opportunity and went for it. I seen it opportunity and went for it. But Benny. Yeah. Can you give us some sort of description on how you felt at that time? It's great you did such a great thing. You've helped save the van.
Saved me life.
It was
the van and Dan. You've helped save Dan's life.
100%.
I don't really. It's just all in a day's work, isn't it? Really.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. That is true. But Mike, you
put a word of warning out that if anyone wants to walk past the van, they need to ask permission first.
Yeah, I've seen a few people taking a big old wide berth into the road to try and avoid the van now. The word spread.
I think people
Benny.
We are now.
100%. Yeah.
Repeat that last bit, Benny, so I didn't catch that.
People in Loughborough now know who we are.
That's it.
Yeah. And the thing is, the sign on the van gives it away a little bit as well. But I think if you put the names on as well, Benny Tring, Vigilante, and Vikings coach, Dan Powell.
You say that. So one of the things I actually said when the police turned up that evening is how thick have you got to be to try and rob a van with the word boxing training on the side?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, if you've got personal training and boxing training written on the side of the van, if you get caught, you're going to get a hiding from that. Yeah,
but maybe they'd seen one of my boxing videos online and thought it might be mine.
That's a good point.
So unluckily, it was. Go on, Mike.
I was just going to say. So, was it unlocked then? How did he get in?
It might have been.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did wonder whether to bring that up or not. Yeah. There is a magnetic sheet stuck over it, so maybe you had to peel that off first.
Yeah.
It's not the most thing in the world, is it?
Well, don't give it.
Yeah.
No, we want them to come back.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
I think Benny Tring, coach and enforcer for new season sounds quite.
You've opened up a new can of worms there, Benny. I think. But was there any point you thought? Was there any point you thought in this whole process that this might be a test as part of your new fitness regime, trying to wake you up and what have you, and then see how quick you can catch this guy? A bit like a police dog test centre sort of thing.
Talking about police dog testing, Dan has got a proper policeman's voice.
Mm.
It was while I got this guy up the side of the van, it was like having a police dog just growling at this guy from a distance, shouting obscene words. But At one point, I thought he was going to come and hurt me when he grabbed me. Did I think it was a test? At that time, no. But now you come to mention it, I did think I saw you at a distance with a camera. So,
and he did slip in,
and the thing is, the police station's only round the corner as well. You know, and
exactly,
this could all have been a setup. But I think whether it was or not, I feel like you passed the test with flying colours.
Well,
would you all agree?
Since then, I think my hard man status has come out a bit, and me and Dan have had a bit of a judo wrestle in the living room a few times.
Okay.
He's getting a bit too big for his boots now.
I can imagine. And as the walk sort of, you change the walk, so it's arms out a little bit more, shoulders a bit broader. Yeah.
Yeah. Carrying a lot of carpet now.
It's a bit Vince McMahon.
Yeah, that's the one, Vince McMahon. When he wears that suit on game day,
that's it.
It'll be the Vince McMahon.
Yeah, don't ask him directions. He'll be like,
yeah,
yes.
Welcome to the gun show.
100%.
So what happened to the perpetrator? Did he?
Oh, he just got a good old whack. But the next day, what was quite funny actually, a little scruff bag cycled past the house just when we were just tidying the van up. You know, give us a proper wide berth, but sort of Benny was looking at him thinking, I know his face, and it was only when he realised his face was smashed to bits that he realised who it was. So
and then he decided to flick the fingers at me and cycle off really fast.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. It's easy to be big from a distance, I guess.
Easy to be big as a 40-year-old on a BMX.
Oh, is that what it was?
Not an orange BMX.
An orange BMX.
Oh, in my head, I'd like a youth, not like. Okay, but well done anyway. Well done, Benny. You chased after this man, and with Dan's help, and you nothing got nicked, did it?
We lost a small cheap speaker. That is all.
Okay. Well done, guys. You know, and I think the best thing that came out of it was, one, you dealt with it, and two, neither of you got hurt. But well done. I mean, it can't have been very nice at the time, but yeah, you dealt with it really well, and you didn't get anything stolen, which was good. Only a little speaker. Heroes. So just we'll move on. So I just want to congratulate you, Mike. To be honest, you got given the job quite recently as the Ball Hockey UK. Is it website designer, or are you in charge of what's going to go on the website? You go on. You carry on with what it is, mate.
Yeah, I've been in charge of website design. So not so much the content, because hopefully everyone else will give me the content to put up there. But yeah, I'm going to be looking after the website for Ball Hockey UK, which is it's absolutely brilliant. It's great fun to do, and I'm really looking forward to getting involved in the GB sort of teams and uploading all their photos and profiles, and hopefully we can even put some live stream games on there, which would be pretty good. So yeah,
is this podcast going on it? Is this going on it?
The podcast is on it.
We've made it.
Seriously. Any other ball hockey podcasts as well, so it's not just us. But obviously we'll be best. So yeah,
we've set the mark. We've set the level high.
Yeah. But no, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to carrying on working on it. Really, it'd be great to get it launched, and there's loads of good features on there. So it'll be
good.
I'll tell you. Right, I'll tell you this bit. There's a referees section on there, and you've got to do. I wanted to have like some animated referees calls. And I was racking my brains how to do this, because obviously I couldn't steal it off another website. So anyway, what I did was I thought I'd set up a Zoom call and actually do the signals myself. But I didn't have I didn't have a shirt. So what I got a white shirt, and I stuck black stripes on it.
Yeah,
seriously. And I've literally, all the signals are there, but I'm daren't put this online. I've shown it to the Ball Hockey UK committee, and they all seem like happy with it. But I'm going to get ripped for this so much. I tell you,
definitely will.
I'll share the link after this podcast, and you can have a look.
Yeah, definitely should go on the website, Mike. Everyone should see who's responsible for
Yeah,
for this.
and I don't want to referee a game ever.
Okay, well,
Just to be clear on that, because Rob Clayton did say, "Oh, we need another referee." I'm like, no, I can give you a jersey. He said, no, don't want it, thank you. I'll stick with my white shirt and my black stripes stuck on. Thank you very much.
But tell you what, Mike, well done, mate, and good luck with it. I think you've done a great job with the Viking site.
Yeah.
So Benny, you were just about to say something, mate.
I think Mike could probably look more like the Hamburglar.
Yeah, which way were the stripes going? Yeah.
Do you want to keep hold of that costume, Mike?
I might have to break into your van for that. Well, I say break into it. If you leave it open again, it's not exactly difficult, is it?
Just pull the latch.
I'll just peel off that magnetic sign. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, well, spot on, Mike. Well done, and good luck for everything with the website down the line. And we look forward to keeping our eyes on it. And hopefully, when the play starts again, it'll be plenty of Vikings amongst other teams around ball hockey UK covered on it, which I'm sure you did a great job of, mate. Well done. Sticking with ball hockey, Benny, I just wanted to come to you quickly. Don't want to go into the whole COVID thing, but obviously we're in a point now where we can't train outdoors as a team. I just wanted a quick one from you on how frustrating that is as Vikings coach. We're doing what we can as a team to train and what have you. We've got like the fitness of generators, and we'll go into that a bit more detail later on. But just from you as a coach, how frustrating is it?
Any time you can't train, COVID related or for any other reason, injury related, whenever you can't have the whole team there, or you've got to be in pods or anything like that, it is really frustrating, particularly for the sort of sport that we play, being seen as it's the sort of sport where you have to be up close and personal with someone, and you can't really be distanced. It is frustrating, and we were at a point where we could have 30 people play in a game-like scenario, which is great for in terms of our development and what we've been working on in this really long off season. But then having to go back to groups of 6 and now being told you can't train again, it just feels like it's unwinding all the work you do. But I know the lads that we've got down will be working on a lot of things personally at home. I know Mike's shared something with the lads about online hockey sessions that they can do at home and stuff like that, which I know some of the lads will join in on. I know some of them are keen to be getting onto the fitness side of things as well. So I think, as frustrating as it is that I can't have an influence as to what happens on the court, we've got a good core of lads here that I know will keep up this momentum during this current downtime.
And I just
sorry, Pete.
Sorry, Mike, go for it.
The thing is, we will be playing at some point this year, and it'll just be nice to be ready for it, even if, it's going to be a lot of the time maybe spent training online and whatever. It'll be so nice to go out on court and be ready for it.
I agree. And what we've also done, and again, we might touch on this a little bit later on in another section, but what we've done is, from the first lockdown that we had at the start, what the Vikings have done and how we've developed with the help of Dan and others, is we've allowed ourselves to be set up quite well for this sort of scenario where the team as a whole can individually go out and join in with like generate sessions, or we're set up so we can do our own training. We've given everyone options of how we can keep fit, whether that's with a ball and stick or just general fitness. And I think that's something that that we can be quite proud of as a club. Would you agree, Benny?
Yeah, 100%. The fact that the dedication is there with the lads, if they're doing this now, when we don't actually have a target to be aiming for, i.e. a date set in stone, and the lads have got this determination now, can you imagine what it's going to be like on game day when we know our goal is in 45 minutes time, we've got to have gone balls out at the wall and to win the game, essentially. So the dedication the lads are putting in now really is showing the sort of team that we're building and as a group building towards.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is as well, just a quick one on just a quick question on that is, with all the things that we've got in place, Bennett, like say, we have done a lot of fitness training. We've done a lot of sessions where we can. People have been doing one-to-one sessions. As a coach, do you feel like with that, there's an amount of pressure when we do get back to playing that for us as a team to perform because of all those things? Like, it's totally up to other clubs what they do, but there's other teams and clubs that maybe there's a lot that have done stuff, but there's some that haven't been doing that much, which is fine. It's difficult, but is there pressure on us to perform when we get back to playing again based on what we've been doing? And we've not kept it a secret either. It's out there. It's quite well known.
I don't think the pressure is no different to anything we've ever faced before. Being a club that had an unbeaten season and winning trophies, other teams look to you and go, you're the people that you need to beat. And I think that's the pressure in itself. I think the pressure now is that actually those teams that did manage just to get in that goal in the last few minutes or whenever it may be, the pressure's now on them to make sure that we don't come at them and take back what was rightfully ours in the first place, which is those points that they stole from us last time round. So I don't feel any more pressure. I don't think the lads and the girls on the team need to feel any pressure in terms of what we're coming up against. It's probably more towards the conference that we're going to be in now it's the steam trains to come in, and it's going to be coming your way very soon.
Ooh. Chases down a thief and he can talk hard on the podcast. No, but good answer. That was a good answer. Mike, just quickly, as a player, fellow player, as a player, you're obviously chomping at the bit to get back to it. Obviously, you've done a lot of training, but to get into that game situation, me myself, I cannot wait to get playing again. But you must be similar.
Yeah, totally. And I agree with Benny's answer, and I was going to use an example of something Dan said ages ago on a previous podcast about how he feels prepared for a fight. And when he knows he's put that preparation in, all right, there'll still be a bit of nerves, but there's a difference when you know you put that prior preparation in, that your performance is going to, I don't know, it takes some of the pressure off in a way because you know you've done the prep.
Yeah.
You can't account for what's going to happen on the day because sport, anything can happen in sport. But if you take that element away, you know you've done that preparation. You kind of, that's 90% of the way there, isn't it?
Exactly. So like Benny said, it is what it is. So we should be confident going into whenever we play again now, not feeling the pressure so much, because we should be confident in what we've achieved while we've not been playing from a fitness point of view and doing the extra stuff with the ball and stick in hand. So yeah, we're all looking forward to it. And it is frustrating it feels a bit like we've been pegged back a bit in terms of when we will get back to playing. But I think we're all on the same page. We cannot wait to get back, and we're excited to see what we can achieve when we get back to playing again. It's worth mentioning as well, but myself and Benny did we did a bit of an interview the other day, didn't we, Benny, with Peter Mann, who works on the website for Nottingham Sport, and we spoke a lot. We had a good hour or so's conversation speaking about what the Vikings have been doing during the lockdown period, and when we got set up and what we've been doing, what we'd want to do in the future. We also mentioned Generate Dan, so don't feel so left out. You got a good shout out in there, so we'll see. But it was a good conversation to have on it, and it's good exposure for the Vikings and ball hockey in Nottingham as a whole, wasn't it, Benny?
It was, yeah. It's a lot of the press within the Nottinghamshire area tend to focus on the bigger sporting events that happen in Nottingham, and the smaller sports like of what we're in terms of ball hockey tends to just get overlooked. I know Notts TV have done some coverage in the past, but that's got a very small audience. So I think this interview we've done, and when it gets published, is going to do a world of good for ball hockey in Nottingham, like you say, not just for the Vikings. It's really going to help introduce more people to the sport, which will then in turn make it more competitive.
Yeah, that's it. And Peter was great. It was good to talk to, and he was really interested in the game. A game he wasn't totally aware of before he came to us, and I obviously approached him when he was looking for people to talk to. So it was a really good conversation. It was fun talking to him about ball hockey, and saying that to him. And yeah, we can't wait for it to be published. So and that'll be sometime soon, I think, within the new year. So yeah, it was good, and like I say, looking forward to it being published. So brilliant. Right, we're going to go on to a bit of a review now of 2020. We're into the new year, 2021. We just want to talk about the best, our best and worst moments of 2020. It doesn't have to be sport related or ball hockey related. Just a little review of the year. Dan, we're going to start with you. Let's go. Shall we go best first, or shall we go worst first? What we're saying? What do you reckon?
Let's go best.
Let's go best.
Okay.
Then. Over to you.
Personally, for me, the biggest highlight for me was I know people probably don't remember it now because it seemed to happen ages ago. Was Liverpool winning the league, and I'm a big football fan. I'm a big sports fan in general, but a big football fan. And Liverpool win the league. It was the first time it had happened in my lifetime, and it was like quite emotional for me watching, Liverpool lift the cup in the Kop and stuff like that. Sat in on my own, because no one could really go and celebrate and stuff. But yeah, that was probably the biggest sporting moment for me. The worst thing for me really is probably life as we know it just not being as it was. It's been quite a tough year for a lot of people, especially me being like every part of my life is like sport related really. I had international competitions cancelled. I was meant to be flying out to Japan just as we went into the first lockdown. I was meant to go and compete in Tokyo 2020, which obviously has been postponed. Doing a contact sport like judo, that got took off the plate for a long time. So that was quite a big change. And then just struggling with sort of general life, like being at home a bit more than I'd probably like, because I do like to be always on the move. The gym having to be closed and opened and closed and opened and not knowing which way is up. That was also a struggle, but it's also been really positive in terms of being able to spend a lot more time with my family, like Libby and Edward. I forgot his name then. That was terrible. And also just sort of having some real time to, actually think a bit more. Not just like sort of direction on what I want to do with, say, the gym or my sport and career, but have a bit of direction and thought process about what I want to do in my life as well. So pros and cons of this year, last year now. And yeah, it's made this year sort of, or life in general, a bit more clear, I think. So yeah, over to Mike. Let's have Mike's next.
Yeah.
Okay, so positive, I'd say. I think there's quite a lot of things I've done because of being in lockdown that I might not have focused so much on. I mean, you guys don't know so much, but I've been playing the violin for 3 years, and I've been carrying on lessons this year.
Surprises you, does it, with Mike?
Yeah. It's
the little one with the little finger.
No, so I've been really focusing on that in the last year, and it's given me a lot more time to practice. And I suppose some of the other things I've been doing, like, as you guys know, the printing, the Viking stuff, and just doing some of the design work that I've been doing sort of in my own time. I think the training as well, although it's been inhibited, it's been great doing the generate stuff, the fitness stuff, even, doing the basketball and the grulers and whatever else. It's all been good fun at the end of the day. And, we've done the best we could with the circumstances we've had. I think my biggest frustration is just not being able to play a game, even if it was a friendly. Actually being in a game situation, that's what I've missed the most. That's what I really hoped we would have been able to do last year, and we didn't. We couldn't.
Cool, Benny.
I'd say my best moment was I'm going to kind of flip COVID on its head for a minute and actually say albeit it's obviously not a nice thing as what's going on, but the great thing for me, or my highlight, is the time that it's given us to go back to basics and reevaluate players' positions and the direction of the club and everything like that. I think it's really helped.
Yeah.
It's given me a lot more time without the pressure of a game coming up next weekend to be able to focus in on the team rather than the opposition. I think the worst moment of 2020 for me was on February the 21st.
I was going to say it.
At 8:05 at night, where I don't know if you know, but did you know this, Dan?
If you're going to drop the A-bomb.
That I ruptured my Achilles. And
Mike, have you got that violin ready?
No comment.
Did it hurt? Did it hurt, Benny?
For me, like it's not. I think 2020, like as a negative, 2020 has kind of been one of those years where you just want to forget because you can't see and do all the things that you love to do, particularly over the summer months where you tend to find yourself more sociable. That social side and that social aspect's gone. Whereas I'm hoping this year is probably going to be a little bit better.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah, good. We've all got good answers there. I'll go. We tried to do best, don't we? So I'll keep going with that. So my best moments of 2020 are probably going to be a toss-up with Lakers winning the NBA title and finding out me and my wife are going to have a baby. I probably should go with the baby thing just to keep the peace. So yeah. So that was that. There are obviously two things to be positive about, but yeah, finding out that me and my wife are expecting a little girl in May. It's May 20th, I think the date is. I'm beyond excited. I can't wait to be a dad. It's going to be a lot of challenges. Dan and Benny both keep trying to send some things my way to put me off the idea and to scare me a little bit, but
late now though, isn't it, Pete?
Yeah,
it's a bit late now. Why didn't you tell me any of this before? But yeah, no. And
just another one. I had Edward decided to go upstairs yesterday, throw some poo on the floor, and bloody he was stomping on it like he was trying to make wine.
Oh God. Well, we're having a little girl, and hope she's ladylike. Hopefully, in that sense. And I don't know if I should say this now, but the one thing I do feel very lucky at having been becoming a dad is I've got very close friends like Ben and Dan himself who have been fathers before me, who from what I see and hear are great examples of dads, and it's great to have them around me and to teach me the ways, so to speak, before I've gone down that route. So I'm excited for my daughter to meet all my friends and family when she arrives in May. But yeah, Lakers winning the title was big for me. I also want to just mention opportunities. I think is worth mentioning for me as well as a positive. No more so than at Generate with Dan. We've had, I know it's put us back a little bit. The old, I don't want to say it too loudly, but COVID. But it's put us back a bit. But what we have done and what Dan's achieved in driving this thing forward has been amazing, really. And I've said it more than one occasion. I'm very grateful for those opportunities. Something I love doing is coaching, working with children and adults, and getting fit and different sports. And also, we got we linked the Vikings and Generate Academy together, and that has worked really well so far. And we are looking forward to that continuing within the future in 2021 and beyond. So yeah, those were all positives for me. My worst part of 2020 has probably got to be when Kobe Bryant died. You probably could have all guessed that, but yeah, when Kobe Bryant died, I'd said it before, sporting hero of mine, just his ethics in sport and how hard he works, and that it always been a hero of mine, of what he did. And yeah, that was a day I'll never remember. And can't believe it's nearly a year to the day. January 26th will be a year since that happened. And I can't quite believe it's a year ago, but not just Kobe, like the other his daughter and the other 7 that passed away in the flight. It was a horrible night and a day probably I'll never forget, to be honest. But yeah, we all had different things there. That was really good. So we're going to round up a bit of the Vikings year now as well. So there's not too much to talk about in terms of playing, but we'll go back to the start of the year, Benny. As coach, rounding up the year for the Vikings, how can you put it in a few sentences?
It was an interesting entrance into the conference, albeit we all know what my opinion is on it. I think it was a great entrance into the tier 2 conference. I was trying to find another word other than tier then, but I couldn't. Sorry.
Yep, too late.
Yeah, a bit too late. But yeah, I think we were competitive. We were great. We showed some areas of strengths. There's been some areas of weakness. Working with Dan has allowed us to fill those areas. I'd say 2020 was a taster year. 2021 is when we bring the game.
Hard man again. That was good.
Yeah. This is big talk now for the coaches.
Oh yeah, it's
Again, let's just touch on. Come to you, Mike. From a player's perspective, not necessarily on the court, but achievements as a club.
Definitely. I'd acknowledge some of the new guys. That I think one of the benefits is that because what might have happened in previous seasons, we might have had a few people join, and then we would have been straight into playing actual games. We've had a lot of training with the new guys that have had quite the advantage, the benefit of lots of weeks of coming along and training. So hopefully, although a game's completely different, they're going to be more prepared than they might have been if they'd just gone straight into a new season. So I definitely acknowledge, the Adams and Joes and the new guys really have joined this season. I think they're going to be a great addition. I mean, I'm saying that as a relatively new guy myself, but you know what I mean. The ones that have literally come along for the first time last year. You agree with that, Benny?
Yeah, absolutely. It's given the new guys to the sport a great foundation to start their ball hockey career on. Something that actually not many players in the sport have ever been given the chance to do.
Yeah, I've only mentioned a couple there, and Ollie, and there's a whole raft of them. Really, we've got a great roster for the new year. So,
100%.
And I think one other thing worth mentioning as an achievement is definitely, I think it's this the podcast. I think when we started it was obviously something that it was me, you, Mike, and Benny, and we've had other people on like Tyrone, Andy, and guests, and then more recently we've got Dan involved, who's on a more regular basis now, which is great. But I think when we started this off, the podcast, I mean, look, we didn't do it to try and achieve millions of listeners. I think it was to try and grow the game and of ball hockey, and to try and get it a bit more widespread in people who knew about it, and also have a laugh with your mates at the same time, and as well as spreading the word for Vikings and ball hockey in the whole. And the feedback that we've been getting from people in good positions of especially Ball Hockey UK is that it seems to have worked a little bit, and they like what they're listening to. And I think there's an achievement in that of the Vikings and us lot as a whole gives ourselves a pat on the back, because you do wonder after one or two. We were wondering, is it worth it? Is it too long? Are people actually listening to it? And then when we got feedback from people like Rob Clayton and Ali Cree and other people involved in hockey, it does that's the sort of thing that makes you go, you know what? Yeah, let's keep it going. And we think we've averaged at least a podcast a month since we started it, for saying, well, it's more than that, actually. It's probably about 2 a month we've averaged, because it didn't start until early on in 2020. Was it March, April time? Can't remember. But, I think, is it something you've been proud of doing, Mike and Benny and Dan? Is it? It's definitely something I'm proud of. So
yeah, I think each one's pretty individual, and it's also the views we've had is it's as you say, it's not about the number. We're never going to have like millions of viewers on YouTube, but we've got a pretty big contingent in the US that watch this regularly on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we've even had listeners from, I don't know, Eastern European, Australia, India, South Korea, South America. I mean, pretty well every continent, and even Russia. We've had a couple of viewed it in Moscow. So, I mean, that's pretty good going, isn't it?
Exactly. And if you've listened to at least a minute without turning off, then we can't thank you enough. You know what I mean? So, but it's cool that you can get that information. But I think it's something good for the Vikings, what's happening here. And the players are very complimentary of it as well. And they enjoy listening to it. So, yeah, as far as I know, we're going to keep doing it into 2021. But I guess just thanks to everyone who's took part in the podcast so far. And long may they continue. Anything else to add to achievements?
I've got one. So
yeah.
I would have liked to. I would have liked to do this in person. However, I think that's going to be a long way off. Basically, obviously, with Generate, I've been working with 6 of the guys, including yourself, Pete, over probably the last 6 months now, maybe a little bit longer. I think it was May, June time when we started doing bits and bobs. And I've seen, 6 lads turn up, some of which were not athletic, and some of which had probably not really done much, if anything, in a gym before. And I was sort of left with these 6 lads to try and turn them into athletes at the end of the day. And make them better at ball hockey. That was the aim, Now, out of them 6 lads, where we were still regularly doing sessions, we had to do a chunk of them online and whatever like that. And not just in terms of fitness or health, has improved, but also, there's been really good improvements in like discipline and attitude towards training as well. Which have, transpired into onto the court as well. And that's out of a few people. I'd just like to sort of list a few really, more than anything. Is first of all, in terms of actual sort of athleticism, we got Kev Wilden. He's hit pretty much every session. He's had an injury recently, but that's not stopped him at all. In the fitness side of things, he's he's just a sort of standout guy in terms of like his effort and his actual sort of athleticism that he puts in. Second one, this is a quite a big one for me. That when this lad first started, I must admit he was a pain in the arse. And I think you all know who I'm going to say straight away. Now,
Mike.
Now, I'm not just going to say this. I didn't used to enjoy coaching Daryl Clark, and now I'll be honest with you, he is one of my favourite ones, because it just from his attitude towards training and so the buy-in towards what we are doing is second to none. He's completely all in, and I feel like me and Daryl had a few months ago had a good chat, and we spoke about sort of about training, this, that, and the other. I feel like he trusts what I'm doing as a coach, and I also trust what he's doing now as an athlete or a player as well. So yeah, that's another mention I'd just like to give. Is like, in terms of attitude, you know, he stands out to me. The third person, and you know, given the chances, I would have made this guy like the athlete of the year. It's not you, Pete.
No, so that'd be against the rules, really, wouldn't it?
That'd be fake. But I'll be honest. I remember the very first session, thinking this guy's got a long way to go. And thinking, you know, out of everyone, effort was all the way up to 10, maybe even 11. And you know, ever since that point, that's always been there since. Even when there's times when you can't get down to the court or down to the gym, it was always like, oh, give me a session I can do at home, or blah, blah, blah. And I just want to commend you, Mike, more than anything, is, you know, I know we had a little chat, a little message the other week. Out of everyone, in terms of attitude and training ethic, I remember seeing you sweating your bollocks off it in that punch bag on that first night that we had down at Generate. And I just want to say now, you're not that guy. Your attitude towards training and your will to want to get better is up there with the people, like the best people I've ever trained, or had, you know, or even like athletes that I train with myself. You know, that attitude that you've got towards training is massive, and it's not something that you can teach to a lot of people. And I think you've got it. So yeah, I just want to, as a little bit of a mention, I just want, they're my three sort of Generate highlights of the year.
Yeah, I still sweat like a mass murderer.
100%. That's never going to change.
So if you want to make yourself a winner's T-shirt, you're more than welcome to.
100%.
Thanks.
Athlete of the year, Mike Lee.
Yeah. No, Dan's spot on though to call out, you know, mention the Vikings and what they've done, and is 100% right about Mike, and is 100% right in what he was saying about Darryl, because I think Darryl is a bit of an example of what Generate wants to achieve with athletes, so to speak, in terms of when they come down to the gym. You're trying to drill into them how important it is to do certain aspects of not just what they're doing from a physical point of view, but when they go home, in terms of your diet. Just touch on that a bit, Dan, because I do believe the turnaround from Darryl's attitude is, like you've highlighted, it is what you're trying to get through to people on the whole.
Yeah, it's, you know, like fitness and health, it's a way of living. It's not just a, you know, turn up at the gym and, you know, be programmed into, you know, doing an hour's activity a week, because there's many more hours in the week than just that 1 hour that you'd work with a PT or a coach or whatever, you know. And yeah, like, as I say, like I've mentioned the word attitude a lot, and you know, it's having, and I've said it a lot recently about standards and having your own standards, and sort of figuring out what your own standard is. If you'd like to, you know, live your life, you know, unhealthy, and, you know, feel like, you know, I personally want to live my life as healthy physically, mentally, and socially as I can, so I can provide, you know, and I can be around, like, for me little boy and stuff like that, and also give the best service to my clients as well. So, and I think, you know, attitude is a huge thing, and that's like something I've always, you know, driven into people. And if there's one bit of advice I can give anyone in sort to hit the ground running in 2021, it's just to have a good attitude towards health, you know, and see it as a whole, not just see it as a 1 hour a week sort of thing.
Yeah, brilliant, spot on. Just to finish up then, Dan, a bit of a review about Generate for 2020. Obviously, you named your athlete of the year from a Generate point of view, not the Vikings. But Mike, you still got your title, Mike. Don't worry about it. And just your hopes going into 2021.
Yeah. Okay. So we named Cameron Topless as our athlete of the year this year. That was based solely on sort of consistency. You know, we've got a lot of really sort of hard workers down at the gym, but you know, in terms of attendance and adherence, you know, he's just been miles ahead. Anyway, yeah, the gym, it's been very up and down. However, you know, this year it's been great to get a more nailed on structure, be working with other partners and agencies in the area as well. And I can only see us going from strength to strength. You know, we've managed to do that in a year when everything's been against us. So, you know, this year, hopefully, we can make it our year. So that's the plan.
Great stuff. I think that's all we've got time for, to be honest. Thanks a lot for Ben and Dan and also Mike for joining me. Listening back to the podcast on Spotify, view it on YouTube. And from all of us, we wish you a happy new year going into 2021. Hopefully we're back to some sort of normality soon. But we're back with another podcast, if not by Zoom. So we hope to see you all very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.